Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. There's something about today that feels like a fresh start, a moment to reset and refocus on what truly matters. Maybe you're sitting at home taking a break from work or even running errands. But wherever you are, I want you to pause for a moment and imagine a life where money no longer controls you. A life where you're not losing sleep over unpaid bills, drowning in debt, or stressing about your financial future. Instead, picture yourself walking in financial freedom, living a life that is aligned with God's purpose and abundance. Today, we're going to talk about how to step out of worry and into the financial freedom that God wants for you. We'll uncover 5 proven biblical money principles that will help you not only break free from financial struggles, but also live a life of peace and generosity. I want to start with this. Money won't make you happy. Now, I know what you're thinking, but having more money would sure make things easier. And you're not wrong. Money can provide comfort, security, and opportunities, but it can't fill the void in your heart. I know people who have everything money can buy, yet they feel empty inside. Money is a magnifier. It makes you more of what you already are. If you're kind and generous, having more money will allow you to bless others. But if you're bitter, greedy, or insecure, more money will only amplify those issues. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7 says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." This verse isn't just about wealth, it's about control. If money controls your emotions, your decisions, and your happiness, then you're not free. True financial freedom starts in your heart, not your bank account. Many people spend their whole lives chasing wealth, believing that financial success will bring them ultimate happiness. But we've seen countless celebrities and billionaires struggle with depression, addiction, and even broken relationships. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy peace, purpose, or joy. That comes from God alone. Think about a time when you finally bought something you really wanted. A new phone, a car, or maybe even a dream vacation. The excitement was thrilling at first, but how long did it last? Days, weeks? Eventually, the joy faded and you found yourself wanting more. This is the trap of materialism, the belief that just one more thing will finally bring contentment. But the reality is, true contentment comes from a heart that trusts in God, not from a never-ending chase for wealth and possessions. We've all made mistakes with money. Maybe you've overspent, taken on too much debt, or invested in something that didn't work out. The good news, God's grace is bigger than your financial mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking that if we just had more money, all our problems would go away. But financial problems aren't always a lack of money. They're often a lack of wisdom. A man once built an empire of wealth, only to watch it crumble because of poor financial decisions. He was living the dream, luxury cars, vacations, a beautiful home, but it was all built on debt. When the economy shifted, everything collapsed. He went from riches to rags in a matter of months. He had to learn the hard way that wealth without wisdom is like a house built on sand. It won't stand when the storms come. The key to overcoming financial mistakes is humility. Acknowledge where you went wrong, seek guidance, and start making changes. God doesn't want you to live in financial regret. He wants you to learn from it and move forward. Maybe you've been in a situation where you impulsively bought something expensive only to regret it later. Perhaps you signed up for a credit card without fully understanding the consequences, and now you're trapped in debt. These experiences can be painful, but they also serve as valuable lessons. Instead of dwelling on past financial mistakes, use them as stepping stones toward a wiser and more disciplined future. The Bible is full of stories of people who made mistakes but found redemption. Financial failures are no different. When we surrender our finances to God and commit to making better choices, He provides us with wisdom and new opportunities. Every mistake is a chance to grow, to rebuild, and to trust that God will guide us to a better path. Some of you know what it feels like to hit rock bottom. The weight of financial stress can be overwhelming. Maybe you've lost a job, faced bankruptcy, or struggled to put food on the table. Let me remind you, rock bottom isn't the end. It's a place where God can rebuild you. Sometimes God allows us to reach the lowest point so we can fully depend on Him. It's in those moments of brokenness that we can surrender and say, God, I can't do this on my own. Lead me. One of the most inspiring stories of hitting rock bottom comes from a single mother who lost her home due to financial struggles. With nowhere to go, she turned to her faith and trusted God for provision. Little by little, through hard work, discipline, and trusting in God's plan, she rebuilt her life. Today, she's financially independent and helps others who are struggling. Rock bottom was her turning point, not her final destination. Hitting rock bottom is painful, but it's also an opportunity for transformation. It forces us to reevaluate our priorities and lean on God like never before. Maybe you've been in a situation where every bill felt impossible to pay, where you had to choose between putting food on the table or covering rent. These moments of desperation can either break you or become the foundation of a renewed faith in God's provision. Many of the most successful people today once faced financial ruin. They used their failures as motivation to make better choices, work harder, and trust in God's plan. When you hit rock bottom, remember, it's not the end, it's a turning point. God uses our lowest moments to refine us, to teach us, and to shape us into wiser, stronger individuals who can then be a blessing to others. First, live on a written budget. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." A budget helps you manage your resources wisely, so you don't waste what God has entrusted to you. A written budget is a plan, a roadmap that helps you control your money instead of your money controlling you. Financial expert Dave Ramsey emphasizes that a budget isn't about restricting yourself. It's about gaining freedom by telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. He often says, a budget is people telling their money what to do instead of wondering where it went. What to do instead of wondering where it went. Second, avoid debt. Debt is a financial prison. If you're drowning in credit card bills, student loans, or car payments, it's time to break free. Start by paying off small debts and work your way up. Dave Ramsey teaches the debt snowball method, where you focus on paying off your smallest debt first, gaining momentum as you move to larger debts. The Bible is clear about the burden of debt as it takes away our ability to be generous and live freely. Imagine living a life where you don't owe anyone anything. How much more peace and security would that bring? Contentment is the foundation of financial peace. When we constantly desire more, we fall into the trap of chasing things that will never truly satisfy us. Society often pressures us to believe that happiness is tied to material wealth. But this is a fleeting illusion. True contentment comes from understanding that God has already provided us with what we need to live a fulfilling life. When we cultivate gratitude for what we have, we break free from the endless cycle of wanting more. This mindset shift allows us to steward our finances wisely, avoiding impulsive purchases and unnecessary debt. Instead of constantly striving for the next big thing, we can invest in meaningful relationships, personal growth, and our spiritual well-being. Rather than measuring success by the world's standards, we should evaluate our lives through the lens of God's provision. Contentment is not about settling for mediocrity, but about recognizing that God's plan for us is perfect. When we trust in Him, we gain peace that surpasses any material possession. We are called to live with open hands, embracing generosity rather than clutching onto what we think we lack. True financial freedom begins with a heart that finds joy in God's sufficiency. Financial freedom isn't just about the present. It's about building a legacy that honors God and blesses future generations. What we do with our money today will impact our children and grandchildren. By making wise financial choices, practicing generosity and living debt-free, we create a lasting impact that extends far beyond ourselves. A true legacy is not merely about accumulating wealth, but about imparting values, faith, and responsibility. Teaching our children biblical principles of stewardship equips them to handle money wisely, ensuring they don't fall into the same financial pitfalls that many struggle with. When we model financial discipline, generosity, and faith, we empower future generations to walk in financial freedom without being burdened by debt or materialism. Imagine leaving behind not just wealth, but wisdom and biblical values that will guide your family for generations to come. Legacy building involves making intentional choices, such as creating a family financial plan, teaching the importance of giving, and encouraging hard work and wise investing. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." This inheritance is not just financial, but spiritual and educational, setting up future generations for success and stability in God's design. Moreover, our financial legacy extends beyond our families. By supporting ministries, charitable causes, and our communities, we can contribute to the advancement of God's kingdom. The impact of a well-managed financial legacy can provide scholarships, feed the hungry, and help build churches and outreach programs that bless countless lives. By thinking generationally, we shift our focus from short-term gain to long-term kingdom impact, ensuring that what God has blessed us with continues to bear fruit for years to come. Today you have a choice. Will you continue living in financial stress, or will you trust God's plan for your finances? The journey to financial freedom isn't easy, but it's worth it. Surrender your finances to God, follow these biblical principles, and watch how He transforms your life. I want to leave you with this verse. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9. 10 says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." God blesses those who honor Him. If this message has blessed you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content. Have a great day, everyone, and God bless.